Guys, we are back. It is the 12th of October. Me and Josh went in here the other day into an area that we hadn't been in a long time and actually glassed up a couple really nice bucks. Took us a little while. We put them to bed. Um, really didn't have no intention of going after them just because of where they was at and how we would have to get to them. It would take us hours to get to them, literally. And we didn't have a spotter, but Jay ended up coming down. I got hooked up with Jay. We went after him. Josh stayed on the spotter. We didn't do no good. Got really close. We think we got really close. We actually never seen the deer over there, but learned a lot that day. And me and Mason are going back this morning. Going to do the same thing, but probably just glass from this side, looking across, and see if we can get eyes. Maybe maybe get some intel on this rascal. Hopefully we see him again, and make a game plan from there. We are trying something new today. It's going to be different. So in West Virginia, you can't have e-bikes on the public lands on the WMAs. So I went out and got a couple mountain bikes. I ain't rode a mountain bike in 20 years. I ain't rode a bicycle in 20 years. Can't speak for Mason, but I have not. And we're taking off at 6 o'clock in the morning before daylight on bicycles. It's fairly flat out through here, so we think we can make some time. We're going to see what happens. We'll give you a little more detailed view of our bicycle setup here once it breaks daylight. But we're going to get out of here and get our stuff packed up and get on the road, literally. Well, figured out I don't have really good brakes, and my hind end is not in bicycle shape. You look like a pro.
I feel like a pro.
Hell, just we always do until we hit the right rock. Mason's just flying down through here. I'm in dad mode, just on the brake, off the brake, on the brake. Feel like I'm on a semi or something. But he definitely covers some ground. I mean, we've turned probably a 25-minute walk already into 5 minutes on bicycle. Well, me and Mason made our voyage across the mountain. We did not wreck, which is a good thing. We learned a few things really quick. Sand, mountain bikes don't mix. That's probably the worst thing. Got to really watch. It's like a dirt bike. Got to watch the mud holes on a dirt bike. Got to watch the sand on a bicycle. But yeah, we didn't wreck. We made it out here to where we wanted to go. We got a little bit of a walk uphill around this knob to get to where we want to glass at, but we're up here. We made it out here. Fog's a little thick. It's starting to break up. Over across the way there is really the main glassing area. It's about 1,000 yards. 1,000 to 1,500 yards is what we're looking at. But we're going to set up shop here for at least the next couple hours and just glass and see what we see.
different than we did this morning. We shedded some clothes. Unfortunately, we didn't shed no poundage. It's a granddaddy long leg. He won't hurt you. He won't.
I know he won't.
You know, they say, and I don't know how true it is, but they say that's one of the most poisonous spiders ever, but they can't bite you. I don't know how true that is, but I've always heard that. It might have been my granny just telling me that. Alright, pal. But anyways, me and Mason are going to hike out of here and go get us something to eat and chill out and make a game plan for this evening. Hopefully, my wife lets me go out this evening, and we're going to go over there. We'll hop a couple ridges, but we're going to get back after it. See you on the other side. You ever heard that old saying? When the cat's away, the mice will play. You ever heard that?
I haven't.
I told that to Jay. He didn't think it was too funny. I'll explain that in a minute. That'll work, won't it?
Yep.
Oh, Josh shaking his head. He hates it. What are you shaking your head for? Where you going with a hammer?
I gotta pick the steak out.
You gonna tell us good luck, or you gonna tell us good luck, or kiss my ass, or anything like that?
Some people gotta work for a living.
Oh yeah.
No, I hope y'all kill him.
All right. So, me and Mason have been kind of walking our butts off, riding our butts off the last few days, and had some success, but it's been hard to show because we've been doing a lot of glassing, and it's just been from a long distance, like 1,500, 2,000 yards. We've run into 3 or 4 shooter bucks, went after them, didn't pan out, whatever. But we have located some bucks. But my little saying of when the cat's away, the mice will play. Jay left for Colorado 2 days ago in the morning, and he had a buck show up on one of his cameras the morning that he left at 9 or 10 o'clock. The buck showed up at 11. He'd never had him before, and he's been laying in there. There's some oaks that are on this little flat, and we assumed that probably one of them oaks started dropping because he's just like the last 2 days he's been in there morning and evening. Me and Mason was going hunting this morning, and he showed up at like 5:45 and hung around in that area for a couple hours. So we're loaded up now. We got everything ready. We're going to hit the mountain and slip in there and go up a tree. Don't know exactly where we're going to get at. We're just going to test the wind and try to pick us a tree and get on that flat and hope for the best. We're going to get on the road and get in the mountains and see if we can make something happen. A lot of deer tracks in that mud hole right in the middle. Did you see them? Well, we've made it on the mountain. We're using our quiet voices now, so we got a little bit of a walk out this ridge. Just a big oak. It's got oaks all over it. Runs out this ridge probably 300 or 400 yards, and then we're going to drop down. There's like a little cut that goes around, well, a logging road some kind of a bench that goes around through there. I mean, we've got ideal scenario, north wind. North wind is going to be blowing right in our face, pulling up this mountain. So we're going to get our stuff on, get out there, and pick us a tree out, be like a squirrel, and get up in it. Seems to be moving out in front of us, and it's real steep right here behind us. So we got a good wind. It's like blowing in our face. Going up this hill behind us, but it's not a very. It's 3 or 4 mile an hour at most, probably 2. And this evening, around dark when the sun goes down, we're expecting thermals to pull down, so the further we could get over this edge, I feel like will help us get our scent out of here. It's a perfect little place to be. Alright, so I don't know if you guys can see us or not. That's my truck sitting in the driveway. Off to a good start this morning. Went to get my truck and the click, click, click. Old batteries give out, I guess. Something else to add to the list to fix. But it is something close to 6. 5:55, and it's the 20th. Me and Mason are heading back out this morning. Going to go back into the area that we was in a couple days ago on bicycles. Let's clear this way, buddy. We don't have no bicycles today, so we're hoofing it, but it ain't too bad. We're gonna get back in there and kind of hunt our way in there. And let's see, we're gonna hunt our way in there. The wind should be blowing in our face, and where we seen the bucks at a couple days ago, they was on that fresh reclaim. So we're gonna kind of hunt our way in there, keep the wind in our face, and work our way to the glassing knob that we want to get to. But I don't think there's very much sense in just barging in there in the dark, because we clearly know that the deer are staying, on that fresh reclaim probably at nighttime and then moving to a thicker area once it starts breaking daylight. It's kind of what it seemed like they'd done the other day. So that's the game plan this morning. It rained all day yesterday, and we had a
20-degree temperature drop, 20, 25. Saturday it was in the mid 80s. Sunday it rained all day. Today it is 39 degrees. So this is truly we had a front move through a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, but this is kind of what I would, I guess, deem the first true cold front of the year. So we're pretty excited. We're going to get across the mountain, get in the woods, and see what we see. I was laughing at Mason because we got about 75 yards from the vehicle and he forgot his binos and we're going glassing. Once he got back to me, I felt a little bit naked right here. I forgot my binos and my milkweed and my rangefinder. So joke's on me, not on Mason. Fortunately, when I glass, I pack these. These are 18 by 56s. I like a spotting scope, but I also like these. So yeah, I'll be able to count their whiskers this morning. Best of God. We're just kind of bouncing up. We only been up here one time, so we don't know really what all we can see and what we can't. So we're just kind of bouncing around here. First thing this morning, trying to get eyes on as much as we can. We've seen one buck so far. Decent weight. But it's a perfect morning. I mean, it's beautiful out. So, seems like a deer's on our feet, so we just gotta find the right one. Checkup, and he got over into this bigger timber. We lost him, but these other ones are meandering around, feeding and stuff. But he didn't. He must have got his belly full before it got daylight, 'cause he was gone.
So Zach just went a couple 100 yards down just so that he could see this other face that we can't see from here where we saw a buck early this morning. But in the meantime, I've been watching the smallest buck that we've seen, and there's just deer everywhere this morning. It's a perfect morning. I guess it's exactly what you'd expect after a cold front.
Well, we have made it back down to the vehicle. We're incognito. America's Dairyland, that's where we're from. But anyways, got everything packed up in the ride, and we're going to head out of here and get us a game plan for the evening and see if we can make something happen. We did realize that our bicycles did help, especially coming out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the 21st. There, I see. He's learning. Internship, he's learning. It's the 21st. Me and Mason went out this morning, and the only thing that we come to the conclusion of was that deer did not move. We seen a couple does in a place that we was at the day before and seen a pile of deer. So we're banking on them moving this evening. If they don't move, they're probably going to starve to death. So hopefully they get on their feet. We're going to have a little change of scenery. We're going back to get in a tree stand and see what happens. We've been having some deer move in the evenings in a couple different spots. And spotting and stalking is pretty tough on the ground in the evenings, especially around here. You just ain't got enough. You can spot them, but the time frame between when they get on their feet to where you can spot them and then darkness and shooting light is very, very short. So, you know, moving in these mountains, trying to get around, you spot a deer and then you got to go 500 yards around to get above him or whatever. You're just very limited with time. So we're opting to go get in a tree and hopefully the deer move. We'll see what happens this evening. Pretty quiet. A lot better than last time. I don't know if y'all have ever watched Days of Thunder, but when Harry tells him he looks like a monkey, and there's a little bit of that phrase that goes along with it, y'all know what I'm talking about. That's what I look like up in this tree. A monkey doing something. Drop
didn't do a whole lot of explaining, but as it was happening, because it all happened three at once. We had that small 10 come in, nice buck, but he hung right around there, made us great, and done all kind of stuff right there around us forever. And then I looked up at Mason and said, it's getting crunch time. It couldn't have been a minute after I said that. And we heard something behind us, which we had no idea that anything was going to come from behind us. And that's the way we come in. And Mason says, oh, it's a big buck. I'm just assuming it's the buck that we was really in there after. And I was completely in a terrible position. I was facing the other way, expecting deer to come from up the hill, and just wasn't able to turn and get my bow in time. It was low light, tough to see. We was in a pickle. Fun pickle to be in, I guess, but it's kind of bittersweet. So that was the gist of our evening. It's the second time we've been in a tree, and it was almost a hell of a time. 10 or 15 minutes, and it would have been a good time. We'd have been hooping and hollering and probably slapping hands and fist pumping and doing all kinds of stupid stuff that we do out here, but that's all right. It's still early. We got plenty of season left. We're gonna go home, gather our thoughts, and get back after it. We'll probably be back in here tomorrow evening. This place is just really hard to get into in the mornings. There's too many deer on this ridge, and really we haven't figured out a way to get in here without blowing everything out in the morning. So we'll see you on the next one.